Hey, Maika, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here, first of all. It's a pleasure to see you again and to
Thank you for
you.
inviting me.
Before we start, could you please shortly introduce yourself and then we'll get to the topic productivity.
Sure. So my name is Maika Endo. I was born in Japan and I grew up in France, but I live in Istanbul now. And I'm a business coach. I mentor coaches, creatives, and wellness entrepreneurs to build the foundations of their business through personal growth, marketing strategies, and business systems. And I help them do this with a holistic approach.
And while doing all this, you're also mother to a 2-year-old. So that's also another
Yes.
parameter in your life, right?
Yes, I'm a mompreneur. He just turned 2 today.
Is there a word for fatherpreneurs?
Fatherpreneur, interesting. Yeah, dadpreneur.
Dadpreneur.
Interestingly, something that people don't really use. Yeah.
Yeah. But I understand why not. But yeah, anyways. But obviously,
Dadpreneur.
you're here because we think that you're a productive person. I know you for, I don't know, 3 years now, and you're a person that I hold in high esteem. And I'm very happy that you're here, as I said. And my first question to you will be about setting the terms right to see what's your understanding when it comes to productivity. So, my first question would be, what does productivity mean to you, Micah?
Okay. Productivity, I think, well, if you ask me what is productivity, I would say it's to be able to do a lot, like have increased output per unit of time. I think that would be my general understanding, but I also think that it's a word that's evolving because we live in a world with a lot of pressure about optimizing, monetizing every nanoseconds of our lives, and we're pulled in every direction. It's very easy to get distracted. So I think that productivity now, with the new context, also means the ability to focus and achieve the goal that you set for yourself.
And what about you? Because I consider you as a productive person, and I'm sure a lot of people do, but sometimes people can be a bit harsh to themselves. So, do you consider yourself as a productive person, or are there times that you're like, no, Micah, you're not productive enough, do more?
That little voice is always there.
Yeah.
But I think for me, my goal is not to do a lot. Actually, it's to do less. So I also have less to think about. So I would go towards perhaps the new meaning of being productive. I think that to me, it is more important to be creative and to be able to generate ideas in what we do. And for this, we need to be in a very relaxed state, in a state of flow, fully present. For example, when you're taking a walk, to really take a walk. If you're cooking, to not listen to a podcast, but just cook and listen to music, for example. So I think that um, I am not really productive in the sense that I'm not doing a lot of things, but I'm trying to be time conscious, time effective, and I'm very protective of my peace of mind. So for me, it's more about using the little time available I have aside of motherhood to set one or two meaningful goals and to be able to achieve them.
I have the similar value on that as well. For me, it's not about working as many hours as possible, but using the time efficiently and also making sure that you have enough time for your well being, physical, psychological, and also social, of course.
Yes, because I think we have to enjoy the ride. It's not about reaching a destination. You know it as an entrepreneur. What is it all for if we can't enjoy the present?
Exactly. Good point. Because there is this, I think, wrong perception about productivity that you have to be super efficient working till 3 a.m. But yeah, I agree with much more with the point of view that you and a lot of my friends have. And when you do this, when you're being productive, as per your understanding, how are you being productive, Micah? Are there certain tools you use? Are there certain methods that you use? How do you keep yourself productive?
Yes. I do use some tools because the tools help you um, be productive in that regard for sure. I think one of the important thing, I think that people have vision sometime and they go straight into action and they don't take the time to really strengthen that vision. So first, the tool I use is a vision board to have a very strong vision. And from that vision, I will create a detailed execution plan. So a lot of people will focus on the action steps, but they may not have a workable and sustainable plan. So, for example, with my clients in coaching, I take a long time, I mean, the necessary time, I would say, to really create a workable and sustainable plan. And for this, we use Trello. You probably know Trello. It's a free application, and you can easily create your project management board. And the very important part of a plan is to have a tracking system and a visual construction of your progress. So this way you stay motivated and you can have a sort of momentum. So yes, having, I think, a workable, sustainable plan is very important, and using those tools, and they're free, why not? They can be very helpful for this.
And I think on that destination, on reaching the goal, I think it's also very important, as you said, to celebrate these small achievements, whereas it's not about the end goal, which you also said, but also enjoying the journey itself. And with every small victory, making sure that you just wait for a while and celebrate and be mindful about it. So this creates, in the long run, an inner motivation that will keep you successful sustainably.
Yes, I think the celebration part is so important. And I do see this in people I work with sometime is they hit a goal, but then they want to go to the next thing and they forget to celebrate it, to recognize their effort and to acknowledge what they've done. So in this way, you're always wanting more. But what is entrepreneurship if you can't just enjoy the journey, if you're always to the next thing, because there will always be a next thing. You'll have a revenue goal, then you'll have the bigger revenue goal, etc. You'll have how many followers, then the next number, and then the next number. So I feel that, as you say, acknowledging those successes and your learnings is critical, very important.
Exactly, because as you said, there is no end. And if you don't think far ahead, when you reach that goal, you're like, okay, what now? That is also, a lot of people have this problem as well. When they reach that,
Yes,
they don't know what to do.
exactly. And then sometimes they go into paralysis, like what do I do now? And they feel stuck. So um, it's really about, I think, the present moment. Really, it's to enjoy it. What brings you joy and delight? Why are you doing this? What do you stand for?
Exactly. And I'm sure also because it's your coaching people in that regard and working with a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people are asking you, Maika, how can I be more productive? I want to reach my full potential. I want to go beyond my potential, make a better version of myself. So when people approach you like this, what are one of the first things that you say to these people in order to help them go in that direction?
That's a very good question, actually, because it does happen. And usually, the first thing I will say is slow down first, and let's reflect and first go into the vision. Let's visit your vision, because why do you want what you want? Why is it important for you? What impact would it have on your life? So be really slow down and try to, I would say, harness the power of vision and purpose. And then after this, we will go into creating a sustainable plan, execution plan, and then tracking. So you do and track all the time to see that you're progressing. It's not about comparing yourself to the other people, but seeing your own progress.
Yeah, with the comparison, there's no ending as well. You can always compare yourself someone who is more successful in different fields, right?
Yes.
I mean,
And it makes people so miserable. So because their self-image is already so vulnerable,
exactly.
and internet is really putting a lot of pressure, of course, with the Instagram, social media. So people have become very fragile, I think, as an entrepreneur, because there is more things to look at and we're always distracted. There wasn't all of this like, I don't know, 20 years ago.
No,
So yeah, they were just following their lane and focusing on their goal and following their path. But now we're like this and that and it's
basically,
all
yeah.
over the place.
And it's very dangerous because even if you're a millionaire, then you can compare yourself to a billionaire and then feel bad about it, right? So
Yes, and perhaps I think that the people who, I would say like this, is that struggle and negative self-image can affect and touch anybody, no matter the amount of wealth and success you have. So I would say that a plan is important, your vision is important, but the mindset is important too. To be able to know yourself, have a positive self-image, and grow, always grow and feel happy and fulfilled in what you do.
exactly. On this topic, we can speak for hours, and I know there's a lot to speak about, but I want to keep this as concise as possible. And before we finish, I want to ask you, do you have anything that you would like to end your note with? And how can people follow you, actually? That's also important because I think having good role models is important for people to be on that path. And I think you're a very good role model. So I would encourage people to follow what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Frichin, for your kind words. And I would love to invite you who is following, who is listening to this video today. You can visit my website, maikaendo.co, and there's a free email course with coaching exercise to help you define your goals and implement this planning system. It's called Focus and Flow. And you can also follow me on Instagram at maika.endo.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Maika. It was always a pleasure
Thank you.
to you. Your energy is inspiring. And I'll see you in another video, podcast, training, whatever we do together.
Yes, it'll be a great pleasure. Take care.
Thank you, Maika. Bye bye.